there's some cultural expectations, just has always been around. But in general, they lead to gender disparities in how you react in stressful situations. Generally, men will act out violently due to this ingrained culture of valuing hierarchy, aggression, power, respect, emotional suppression. All these things together can fuel violence when it comes to you standing up for yourself, you doing something that you think is right, you protecting yourself from something that you find scary. Those are things that can happen. Yet violence against women is down by over 50% in the last 20 years. It is down. I'm not sure what that has to do with anything. It being down by over 50% doesn't mean that it doesn't still happen, or that the violence against women, we are understanding just how pervasive it is on a smaller scale. We're understanding now how pervasive microaggressions are, even if we've weeded out the most destructive parts of it. But I do believe, Alan, that there is also, in addition to it being 50% down in the last 20 years, in the last few years, it is probably going back up again as well. Violence against men has increased. Violence against men is becoming more well known. The men saying it's not me are a fucking issue. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm addressing. When they say it's not me, it means that they don't believe it's a systemic issue. They ignore the issue that it's an issue in the first place. And this is why we need to make sure our messaging is very clear. Instead of saying, hey, you're an issue, we say, hey, this system is an issue. We're all part of this system. We're contributing to this faulty system. We don't want this system. It hurts you too. We want to make this system better. How do we make this better? We're going to make sure that you feel happy and safe in your identity and help you towards actions that support a better system, and then we can cultivate a much healthier system for everybody to live in. I'm just saying, like, it is very tempting to go towards the route of singling out people and blaming them for the hurt that you feel. Like, I feel a very strong want to blame a lot of shit on Andrew Tate and the fucking Joe Rogan podcast. But they're literally just little parts of the system that have contributed to how terrible the system is. It's not great. It's hard not to do that. It's incredibly difficult not to do that. Because when we do that, we are fueling, like, the way that I see it is, yes, it feels good to blame them and you think that you're pointing out a great injustice and you're going to make it right by pointing out the injustice. But in fact, that usually makes people double down and they go stronger and more dedicated towards these groups because they're like, I can't be wrong. This is my identity as a person. I can't be a bad person. Because most people, you want to protect your mental. You're not going to think that you're a bad person. You can blame a lot of shit on them, even if they're small parts. Yes, but that's not what I'm talking about, though. It's about... I can disagree with what they're doing. What I'm trying to say is, what are the actions that you can take to actually change this system, right? Because it's not just calling them out on social media. It's not going to be just talking about how terrible they are. That might be part of it so that we know as an example that this is bad. But also we need to investigate all the things around it that have made this so. And we need to offer a space. That's the most important thing. We need to offer a space to all these people that feel disenfranchised. Because if we don't, they're going to go towards these terrible people to recover their self-worth. They're going to go to these terrible people who are in fact taking advantage of them and making it worse for them. Like, what do you think Tate is doing, like, with, like, this, like, sex trafficking shit, right? And all these things. Does that help all the listeners that he has? No, it doesn't. Does it make things worse? Yeah, of course it does. I don't think you're a piece of shit, but if you can't accept other men are pieces of shit and that overall men are the issue, you have lost the cause. I don't think it's a lost cause, though. I do think that their education is possible, especially with younger generations. This is why education is so important. We need to make sure that we have people that grow up secure in their identity and that they understand that there are bad actions that they can take and they want to go towards good actions. And taking one bad action doesn't make them a bad person.